This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotatonetwork.com.
Watching television, watching television. Watching television, watching television. I need all the image, I need all the sound, I know the info right into my mind.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Trial by Pilot. This is the show where we judge an entire series of television and the work of hundreds on one episode. I'm Bill Lynch.
I'm Elizabeth Lynch.
Prove it.
I left my license, but I do have 2 pieces of mail to this address.
Those could be faked easily.
But I also have my passport and my birth certificate.
All easily faked.
You want me to go get my license? Oh my god. I have a rare birthmark.
A rare birthmark?
Rare birth.
I have Jack Nicholson's face on my butt as a birthmark. I was like implying that maybe you were a lizard person or
What?
some member.
No?
Yeah.
That's
You
not true.
you do have very dry skin. We're talking about Inside.
Damn, found me out.
We're talking about Inside Job on Netflix, a new animated comedy
Yes.
on Netflix. You picked this one out of a big bunch of shows that I sent to you,
Yes.
mostly because it was short, right?
Well, it also just looked like the most interesting.
Some of the other ones look like trash.
It looked like hot garbage.
What was? I thought that you would be intrigued by the title of The Girl in the Woods or something.
I was a little bit, and then I was just like, I can't. I don't want to. Like, I know I've said this before, but sometimes like I look at something and I was just like, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to do this. It didn't look.
The premise is like she can walk through like a magical door and fight monsters or something, or
Yeah.
yeah,
She's like part of this like cult
yeah.
of people, and they fight monsters and they keep other people safe.
Yeah.
But then there were all these scary monsters in it, and I was like, I don't want to do it.
All these scary monsters.
What was one of the other ones that looked really bad? Oh, 4400.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't want to do that again either. A bunch of people disappeared and then all of a sudden they're back. We've seen that like
Yeah.
10 or 12 times. This was slightly more interesting because they were from all different time periods. Mm-hmm. And they were marginalized people.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So it was like, I was like, okay, I see how this could be.
At least
like,
a new twist on that.
a little bit of
formula.
a new twist. But yeah, this one looked the most interesting to me. And then the other one looked interesting, but it started a while ago.
Yeah, Dope Sick with Michael Keaton on Hulu, I think. It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, that looked
but
good.
It's supposed to be about the opioid epidemic and
Yeah.
be really depressing. But it's been out for a while, and I don't know. We've seen a bunch of depressing stuff lately.
Yeah, after watching all of those, like seeing like an irreverent animated comedy, I was like, let's do that.
Yeah.
Even if it is about conspiracy theorists.
Very funny voice cast
Yeah.
on this show. I mean, the main cast is Christian Slater, Lizzie Kaplan, and Clark Duke.
Who's Clark? Oh, Clark. From
Yeah, Clark and Michael. Yeah.
Whose voice did he do?
Brett.
Oh.
Yeah, the main guy. But then like the side characters were voiced by Brett Gelman, Bobby Lee, Andy Daly, John DiMaggio. John DiMaggio did the voice of Bender on Futurama.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know, he's also done a ton of other stuff. He's one of the main characters on Adventure Time with Jake and the dog. I think he's the dog. But yeah, obviously I know him best from Futurama.
As Bender.
Should we rewatch Clark and Michael ever?
Oh my God, please. That was so good.
Do people even know about that show?
They must.
I mean, I know it wasn't like...
I think older millennials know about that show.
Yeah. Gosh, it was almost 15 years ago that came out.
Really?
And it was just like a quick little thing on YouTube, right?
It was like a project
Yeah.
that he was doing. I think it was like Clark was doing this project for school. And it became this show, Clark and Michael. And it was so good.
Yeah, it's funny. All right,
Earn
let's talk
your
about...
first dollar in 15 years.
So, Inside Job starts out with like this crazy conspiracy guy sitting outside of the White House, you know, telling all these kids about lizard people and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. When his daughter screeches up and picks him up on her way to work. And she's going to Cognito Inc., which her dad, we later find out, used to run. And
We are a company.
yeah, they walk into the lobby and it's just like holograms of receptionists and just "We are a company" on the big board. So they are helping to shadow run the government. And next on their agenda is replacing the actual president with a robot, Robotus. And
Clever name.
Yeah, clever name. As they're walking through the building, we see like all these classic conspiracies, like blood sacrifice to control the stock market, someone's programming the weather, the moon landing set, all that stuff. And there's like aliens walking around and like cryptozoological creatures, some like crazy talking mushroom from like deep earth.
Yeah, there's like some weird like being like floating inside the water cooler.
Yeah. And so Reagan is her name. She thinks she's getting a promotion. Her boss calls her in, you know, gives like very quick exposition, like, you know, graduated top of your class at MIT when you were 13, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. She's really good at what she does, but her people skills are awful. And so she's going to get the promotion, but she's going to co-lead the team along with Brett. And they introduce this guy who's like default good-looking white guy, who like went to Yale, and he said graduated at the top of his frat. And then he like became a lobbyist for a little bit.
Because he really likes lobbies.
Yeah. And so she stays up all night to crack the AI issues that they've been having with Robotus to like prove that she can do this by herself. And so the next day, the robot's running perfectly as like the shadow elite are watching over them through hologram. You know, just these like 5 robed figures with like distorted voices. Mm-hmm. But Brett shows up with bagels for everybody, and that's all anybody can talk about. So Reagan goes down a rabbit hole, like trying to research this guy and discredit him. And so she does that the next day at the office, like pulling up like all of his social media and his resume and whatever records. Mm-hmm. And her boss is afraid that she's cracking too, just like her dad did. And so he says she's off the project. Go home for a week, a month, whatever you need to clear your head. And part of the setup was her saying like, he listens to Dave Matthews Fall Into Me 5 times a day. Why would anyone do that unless like XYZ? And so as she's like walking home all melancholy, that song starts to play.
I love a good Dave Matthews roast.
Yes.
I really do.
I think he could take it. He can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, he has to. He's got to be used to it.
Yeah.
'Cause it is so easy to make fun of, even though, like, I do like that song.
Sure. So now Brett realizes that he's in charge by himself. And so now he's nervous about that.
Right.
Like, because
he's completely underqualified.
a total imposter. Yeah. And so, of course, this robot president goes completely haywire when they like install him as a leader at like some UN summit on like barley prices, I think it was. You know, as like the paparazzi start like taking pictures, flashes are going off. And so he malfunctions and he starts talking about the AmeriCube. They're going to put a giant cube over America, keep out every international.
Yeah, and there's like missiles, like the graphic has missiles coming out of this metal cube.
And so Reagan's dad reveals he reprogrammed the president to go nuts if she was taken off the payroll. But then as they're talking, it's really just about him like getting back at the boss and, you know, hanging out with Reagan. And so she gets mad and goes off to help Brett.
He just wants to go have a Wetzel's pretzel with his daughter.
And so the two of them find the president and Reagan inserts her cell phone into like his motherboard to connect him to the internet. And after like a couple seconds, he realizes like how awful all of humanity is, not
Right.
just those outside of America.
It's like just Florida alone.
Yeah. He's like, it's so bad, actually, it should be wiped out. And so he orders the launching of all of America's nuclear weapons. And we see like the general and some other guy in the military, like, should we be questioning this order? And they look up and there's a poster that says, join the army.
No,
Don't question.
It
What?
said, do you think we should just blindly follow this order? And then the poster is like, join the army, blindly follow orders.
Yes. Thank you. I almost fucked that up.
Yeah, you really almost killed that joke.
Oh, gosh. I just wrote down the wrong thing. And so Reagan and Brett are chasing after Robo President, and they need like their team for help. But they're all like high off of like some hallucinogen and not really listening to Reagan. But Brett finally comes on the phone and uses his people skills to get them to, you know, get with it and help them out with whatever plan. And so they eventually like fight Robotus on a helicopter and defeat him and restore the actual president to power. And so they're all celebrating, and Brett invites everyone out for margaritas, and even Reagan agrees to join them this time, as we like pan down through layers of the company and we find the top half of Robotus is like in some kind of like containment thing with like wires hooked up to them while watching Regan on like some surveillance cameras.
She's like, Brett is like, oh man, it really was your life's work. It's too bad you had to incinerate him.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, incinerate.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, what'd you do, Reagan?
You
She just couldn't let it go.
You knew he was down there.
Yeah.
And that was the pilot to Inside Jorb. I'm glad you could still laugh at me just mispronouncing things really dumbly.
Oh, that's one of my favorite things about you.
Oh, thanks, bud.
I'll always laugh at that.
What did you think?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
It was good. It's not like, it's like a little frantic for me. I know this is like more your style of a animated show.
Okay, interesting.
Like, well, like in the way that like Futurama has like a lot of like those like quick asides and like crazy characters floating by, like that kind of like, visually, it's a little bit frantic.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I don't know, Bob's Burgers and The Great North, which I really enjoy, are not so much that way. I'm not going to put Big Mouth in that category because that show's just a fucking insane show.
That's in its category of its own.
Yeah. But I did like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was funny.
This is not a show we can watch around Billy.
No.
We do like to find like animated shows we can watch them, but this is not it.
Yeah, in really any capacity. I mean, like there were F-bombs being dropped, and there are people getting their heads cut off. At one point when they're trying to...
The goat gets its
I was
head
going to
cut
say,
off.
when they're trying to manipulate the stock market, they slice a goat's throat and just like pull its head off of its body as blood sprays everywhere.
Yeah,
So-
I think he would not like that. He didn't like a zombie being depicted like in a silly dream in The Great North the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, he got over it, thank God, because
Yeah.
I wanted
Reagan
to
leaves
watch
the office and goes, suck my dick.
Oh yeah, that's right. Suck My Dick and Motherfucker were in like the first 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
I was like,
okay. Never
good thing
mind.
we didn't decide to watch this during dinner.
I
Did
mean-
you almost?
Well, I briefly thought about it, but I was like, it's on Netflix. There's probably curses.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't imagine it was going to be this like R-rated, but
Yeah, that was not appropriate.
yeah, you should be 14 plus to watch this show, guys.
Yeah,
Is that the current thing? 14?
14.
16,
I guess.
17?
Would you let Billy watch that
I don't
at 14?
fucking know. I'm sure when Billy's 14, he's going to be watching whatever the hell he wants.
Are you sure? Because I wasn't.
14, you're in high school. I feel like I was watching...
I wasn't allowed to go to an
Well,
R-rated movie until I was
All right.
16.
We need other people to weigh in because you and I led very different childhoods.
No, I mean, whatever. I'll probably let him watch it when he's 10. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I thought it was funny. We both like laughed out loud
Yeah.
a couple times. Like I said, good voice actors, good comedians, writing. Apparently the creator of this, her name is escaping me now, also created Gravity Falls, which was like a very popular Disney show that had a lot of big voice actors on it as well.
Oh, I don't know that show.
And it seemed like that was the other big project she's worked on. So I guess she just has some cachet from that.
Cachet.
Yeah.
That was used to be a dress store in Freehold Mall.
Okay.
I got my homecoming dress there one year.
So would you recommend Inside Job?
Yeah, I definitely would. I liked this. This was like, I don't think it like needs like a whole lot of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you like silly animated stuff,
Yeah.
like you said, it's a little bit frantic, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
I think anyone would like it. At all of the references and funny little aside. That's the one thing I like about animated shows is that they can really just like pack a lot of stuff in there without like
Yeah. You could do anything.
too much effort. You can just draw it in.
You don't need a set piece. Yeah.
You just draw it.
You don't need to travel to a new location.
Like the Mayan calendar. They're like, oh no, this Mayan calendar ends today. And then
Yeah.
like later the janitor's cleaning up and he puts an out of order sign on it.
Yeah.
It's just really funny.
You don't need to construct a giant replica of a Mayan calendar.
Right.
You just draw it. Not that that doesn't take skill as well.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
You know? So would you guess that this will get a second season?
I mean, probably. I do.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
Oh, sure. I mean,
it's on Netflix, and it was funny.
yeah, that's the formula.
I mean, Netflix usually renews shows, don't they?
No, they cancel shit all the time. Netflix's formula is produce as much shit as they possibly can,
Yeah.
and then just produce new shit the next year to get people to watch or subscribe.
I just feel like a lot of stuff that we've watched has on Netflix has been renewed, but now I'm wondering because Lock and Key was renewed because your mom and stepdad were talking about it.
That's true.
But October Faction, what's the deal with that? Was that canceled?
I think it was canceled a while ago.
okay.
I think it was canceled a long time ago, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
They did say that Lock and Key was actually interesting. We
Yeah.
just never watched it.
I mean, I've seen a bunch of like commercials and ads for it just like around. So like people like it.
Do you know what is on Netflix right now with new episodes? Although I don't think it was a Netflix show originally.
What?
What's the one? I think it's called In Plain Sight. Is that it? The one with the blind girl and the dog?
In the dark?
In the dark.
Yeah.
In Plain Sight. In the dark.
Please.
Anyway, that has new episodes.
Yeah.
So I just wondered, did that just like get moved to Netflix?
Didn't you watch like 2 or 3 episodes of that?
I watched a couple, yeah.
Couple? And it was like, okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It probably would have been funny if I kept watching it. I'm sure I would have appreciated something, but it kind of had like, you know, that like a Castle vibe, but it wasn't Castle. I just wasn't in the mood for it.
Yeah. You do like Castle though.
I do like Castle. Oh, Nathan Fillion.
Wow, a lot of big mouth talk on
I
this
know.
episode. Is there a new season of that out? Or is it coming out? Maybe it's coming
I think it's
out.
coming out.
Yeah. What?
I almost stopped. I made myself say out. Because at first I was just going to say, I think it's coming. But then I was like, that's too like big mouth innuendo.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I said out real quick.
Okay.
Anyway, I just explained myself.
So, are there any conspiracy theories that you really buy into? You're not really a conspiracy theory kind of person.
I'm not really
Yeah.
a conspiracy
I mean,
theory
neither
person.
am I.
But I think in the past there must have been something. Nothing really like political.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about you? What's one that you've heard of?
There's nothing like that I buy into that's like very specific, like, you know, the moon landing being faked or flat earth or lizard people. Like, something that big could not be kept a secret for so long. I feel like it's impossible. Like more broadly, like are there elites like running the world through the stock market and the government? Like, yeah, is that even a conspiracy theory anymore? Like, I feel like
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not like a blind, like a sheep.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm not a sheep.
I have a couple friends who are into them way more than I am, and like some of them are fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun and possibly believable, but it's just like, again, so many people would have to like be keeping this a secret and contributing to it. It's just not very realistic.
Yeah. I mean, there have been some that I've heard where I'm just like, okay, that sounds ridiculous, but also could probably be true. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like so awful and unbelievable, but the thing is that I don't know. I don't think, like, I feel like sometimes when people talk about certain conspiracy theories, I'm like, no, there's no way people are that awful. Like, the people have to be that awful.
Yeah.
But the thing is that there are really awful people. I don't know. I don't want to specifically name anything. I'm being like a little bit vague in what I'm like referring to, but like I'm not really I also do have like a lot of trust in things. I just think that
I should also say that flat Earth is dumb and unbelievable for many other reasons than what I already stated. I just I didn't want to make it seem like, yeah, flat Earth would be possible, but like a lot of people would have to be lying. Like, no, that's not why I don't think the fucking Earth is flat.
Right. No, I don't know. I think I'd have to like look up some other ones. Like I remember there was like one. I think there's like maybe like a John Benet Ramsey conspiracy theory that like
that now she's like somebody else.
Yeah, like Tupac being so. I don't know. I just don't. To answer your question, no. I'm just not.
Yeah.
There's some of them are just like ridiculous, and I don't understand. What I do think that they can be funny, or I think that there was a time where I thought they could be funny.
Sure.
Basically, like mainly because the person who's putting out the YouTube video is like sounds like a fucking insane person. You know what I mean? Like where they're like finding, they're like, oh, look at this image, and it's them just like mirroring a picture, and it's like and making it look all like grainy and then red in the background.
Sure,
like, this is bad. Like, but I don't know. I'd be interested to know what conspiracy theories people think are real. But I do feel like it's all like tainted now.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a danger to believing things that you can't prove, as we've seen more and more over recent history. But there is something fun about like something that's just more intriguing than like Occam's razor, like the most obvious explanation. Like this isn't even like really conspiracy theory talk, but just like, fan theories on TV shows that can be really fun. Like, there was one on Game of Thrones that I got really into called the Lannister Honeypot. And there was like a 12-minute video or something about how Robb Stark's wife was actually a Lannister spy. And I mean, there were scenes in the show, so many scenes as this guy's explaining it. He's showing the scenes and it's so convincing. Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, this is real. Like this one's really going to happen. And then of course it ended up being absolutely nothing. Right. It's just, there's like so much of everything in the world, like so much content, TV, political speeches. You can turn it however you want.
Oh, Disney conspiracy theories, when people get really into like Disney
and how there's like a bunch of dicks in the Little Mermaid castle.
There's like dicks in the and the like original one, which I like think that I had that copy. I don't know, actually. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it's not true. Maybe I just like convinced myself. But like all of like the little like subliminal messages that they put in there, and like the like the family trees, and how like the whole like universe is connected.
Well, that's not really a conspiracy theory. They like try to put that stuff in other movies, right?
Yeah, but with Frozen, there was like this whole conspiracy theory that Anna and Elsa's parents were killed on their way to Eric and Ariel's wedding.
Yeah, I don't know if these are conspiracy theories necessarily.
But the thing is, Frozen 2 just proved that.
Yeah, they're
that's
just
not
like-
how they died.
Yeah, they're just like fan theories about
Okay, fan theories.
about a movie. Which is fine. That's kind of what we were talking about, but I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy theory.
Hold on, I'm going to look up some pop culture ones. Oh, there's one that says the Beatles never existed. Or Avril Lavigne committed suicide in 2003, which is not
Like,
true.
what the fuck? Yeah.
This one just says Eminem looks nothing like he used to.
All right, what website are you on?
I'm on Vulture. I'm very like skimming the.
Yeah, clearly.
Andrew WK has been played by different actors. Oh, you know what I want to know? Have you ever heard of Orville Peck?
Sounds familiar.
He's a musician. He's like this guy. He like has this like fringed mask. He wears like he's like a country, but like a maybe like alternative country.
Okay.
Singer. He's like very popular. I don't think I've listened to any of his music, but he's never shown his face. And so there are like no one knows who he like truly is. And so I was just like kind of looking into it the other day, and like people are like, so he's Canadian, and like there are all these different things about Orville Peck that like he has said, and so people think that he's actually the drummer or like singer from another band, like a Canadian band, based on like, he was born here, which is the same place that Orville Peck says he's born, and also a similarity in tattoos. I'm like, it probably just is that guy then. If they have the same tattoos.
Similarity in tattoos.
I mean,
Like,
I
did
don't
they
know.
have the same tattoos or not?
Exactly. I was like, I didn't dig any further to like really. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think conspiracy theories can be fun and funny, but like, they're not so much these days when you like realize that like people that you used to be friends with really believe them. It's upsetting.
All right. Anything else on Inside Jorb? Are we going to continue watching Inside Jorb?
I mean that maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm not like super invested in it. I thought it was good, but like if we're looking for something to watch,
Yeah.
like a light funny show.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say I'm invested in it,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't mind turning it on like upstairs before bed. You know, if we want to take a break from Seinfeld or whatever sitcom. We just restarted Seinfeld. Although for some reason Netflix only has like a couple episodes of season 1.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
So
but-
we got through that very quickly. Now we're in season 2.
Do you have any Squid Game conspiracy theories? Because we just finished that,
Listen.
and I did call something
Listen, that's
just
gonna
because I was joking.
have to be a teaser because I wrote down Squid Game in my notes, but then we started talking about other stuff, and now we don't have time to talk about it.
I mean, you can cut out all the conspiracy theory stuff where I was like not making any sense.
That's going to be a lot of editing.
Just cut all that out. Where I was like,
All right,
maybe I do.
What was your conspiracy with the Squid Game that you called? Oh, who the masked guy was?
Who the masked guy was?
Yeah.
The front man. Because
Yeah, I
a lot
know.
of people had masks.
I was going to
on.
say, spoiler alert for Squid Game if you haven't binged it at this
Well,
point.
I don't want to say it, but I
Sure.
did guess who the front man was, but I was
Sure.
like kind of like kidding around.
Yeah.
And then I was like, holy shit, I was right. I was a little disappointed with like there's some loose ends that never got tied up for me.
Yeah. I mean, I did really enjoy it overall.
Yeah.
So, quick spoiler alert for Squid Game. I did enjoy it overall. I was a little let down at like... I don't need everything tied up nicely, but it would have been nice to like have one tiny like sliver of like hope or positivity.
Yes.
I'm fine with dark shows. like Dark.
I was like, why is he laughing like that?
Oh, I thought it was obvious.
No.
I'm fine with shows where it's just like a shitty reality. Not a lot of good stuff happens, but like you need something to happen positive to like balance it out a little bit, even if for the most part it's shitty. And this really didn't have any of that. Literally everything
Even Mayor
was
of
shitty at the end.
Easttown had a sliver of hope.
Yes, yeah. I mean, yeah, and that was a fucking sad, depressing show. And it
Yeah.
had a sliver of hope. And this really didn't have anything. Like, at the end, all the characters you like are dead, except for this one guy. His mom's dead. Doesn't go to see his daughter. Like, what the fuck?
I know.
There's nothing. No I mean, I guess you could say him getting the orphan brother and, like, bringing him to the mom.
Yeah.
It was like a tiny little speck of positivity, but like really just barely.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it like made. I mean, the whole thing was so fucked up that like that guy, of course, would be. Thank God everyone else is dead because they'd all be so fucked up. At least there's only one fucked up person left. Do you know what I mean?
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
But like,
What did you think was going to happen? Like in the mid part of the show, like who did you think was going to make it out?
I wasn't sure if only one person was going to win.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't know if it was going to be multiple people.
yeah,
But I just, like, really wanted it to be 4 or 5, 6. Right?
Yeah.
456.
yeah. I was under the impression the whole time that it could be more than one person,
Yeah. Because I thought they were like, oh, you'll split it.
and so I thought it was going to be him and the girl,
Yeah. That's who I wanted it to be.
which it almost was.
Yeah.
Although that guy, oh man, I can't remember any of their names now.
I know, I can't either.
Song-woo,
Yeah.
he was good as like.
Yeah, he was great.
He ended up being the bad guy, but he was like a really good actor.
Yeah.
I thought that from like early on in the show, like he is really good.
I mean, one of the things I appreciated about it is that, like, I didn't see, like, the twist early on coming. And I thought that made it a much more interesting show than just them playing these, like, brutal games.
Oh, it
The
ended up
fact-
being so much more intriguing than I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
And so I really liked that about it. I'm trying not to give away too many spoilers, but we've already like said it
whatever.
so much, so whatever. At this point,
Yeah,
I feel
if
like
you-
everybody has seen it, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really.
If you haven't, you're probably not going to.
Yeah, but the detective who ended up being, you know, a spy in there, I really wanted a better outcome for him.
Yeah.
Like, we never found out if, like, the information that he sent, all the information that he captured, if it got to anybody. Like, I guess it didn't. I guess he didn't have enough service for it to send. But, like, I just hated that was just kind of, like, done. And then he died.
Yeah.
I just wanted more.
That felt like a little bit of a wasted ending.
Yeah.
Because I thought, like, you know, maybe if they have a season 2, they'll explore that. But, like, they already jumped forward a year and apparently nothing has happened with it. So,
Yeah.
And, you know, in the middle episode, they were kind of using him as a proxy to, like give us some information and exposition as he's, like, finding this stuff out. But, like,
Yeah.
even without him there, like, you pretty much can figure out what's going on. Like, when the VIPs show up, there wasn't, like, anything really deep going on. It was just a bunch of rich fucking weirdos that wanted to, like, bet money on people dying.
The only thing then that he found out that made that twist, like, interesting is, like, you found out, like, that there was, like, the same winner. Like, it looked like his brother won, like, multiple times. So it's, like, weird that he went back
Yeah.
to it. And then you find out later that, like, the front man is his brother.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
spoiler,
he-
God.
Sorry. And then he shot him.
Yeah. Pretty fucked up.
So, like, that was it. It's like, oh, wow, he found out this, like, information. And then, like, nothing happens. Now the relationship's done because he fucking killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only part that I was just like, okay, but I kind of wanted a little more there.
Yeah. Same.
And I wanted like I wanted like him to like use his winnings to like be able to go see his daughter.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was so crushed, and it came back and his mom died. I mean, it was gone like a week maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
And like, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fucked up. It was fun. I mean, even if they only use that like spy angle with the cop to like give us a break from the games.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. I appreciated that they like left for an entire episode.
Yeah.
You know, the second episode, they were just completely out of that facility.
Yeah.
So it ended up being more interesting than I thought. I mean, visually it was very interesting. So for the most part, high praise for Squid Game. Ending left a little bit to be desired.
I also really wanted to know who the VIPs were. Like,
No, they didn't matter.
it didn't really matter, but I guess I'm just curious. And like, that's another thing. It's like, do things like this exist? It's like another like conspiracy theory for
Oh,
you.
maybe.
You know, like, was that guy who like took the detective back to his room, was he like a president or was he like the president? You know what I mean? Like they could have been anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to look up if there is a season 2, and nothing has been announced yet. Although the director seems to have confirmed that there's at least talks going on. So, who knows? Who knows?
Anyway,
I think you'd have to completely change season 2. You can't do the same thing again.
you can just do like gruesome games the whole time.
Yeah.
But like, I was wondering, I was like, once you found out like who the front man was, I was like, oh, does that mean like Ji Yoon's gonna be the front man the next time? You know what I mean? Like, is that how they're gonna end it? Like showing him as the front man? But yeah, we shall see.
We shall see. All right, everybody. If you have suggestions on shows for us to watch, you can email us at trialbypilot@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at trialbypilot. And please go on to Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this. Subscribe to the show, leave a review, and tell a friend.
And thank you to the Beats for providing our theme music.
Thank you, Beats.
Bye.
Bye.
Watching